right, welcome to the Vertical Podcast, where you're with Simon and Rux. Hey! That's for Teddy Ruxpin and Simon from the Chipmunks. Woo-hoo! And we have the privilege of being with, drum roll please, Michael and Rich.
Hey! Say hi. What up? You have to do your what up, what up, what up.
Yeah, do it.
What's up? Why do I sound like the aliens?
That's good. So, we're going to get to know who these guys are, why they're here over the next hour. And trust me, you don't want to miss this. See you in a second. Woo!
All right, we're back. So with our normal voices, now you can hear who we really are. We are here with Michael and Rich. Michael, why don't you start out and kind of tell us who you are, why you're here, and then Rich can tell us all his life story.
Oh, boy. Yeah. I'm old.
No, you can just tell us whatever you want to tell us and kind of where we're going this weekend with everything. So if you don't mind, Michael Simmons.
Yeah, so what's up, everybody? My name is Michael Simmons. I'm the lead pastor at Rector, Arkansas. I'm just glad to be here. I'm the speaker for the weekend and just absolutely blessed and humbled to be able to be in the house, man, and just be here loving on some youth and pouring into everybody, and it's just an amazing time. Just glad to be connected with Jerry. We connected probably about 4 or 5 years ago, and
Yes.
just awesome to be here, man.
Dude, it was 3 years ago. Has it been that long or is it two?
It was 2 years, so not last D now, but the D now before that.
Okay, yeah. So
It's the first time we were like down.
2 years ago. Whoa. What had happened was the first D down, I got hired about 4 years ago. And I called a guy, and this is a tragic story, actually. He was gonna come to our D now. He's gonna be our first D now speaker, all this good stuff. And the month before, it may have been 2 weeks.
It was 2 weeks.
It was close, yeah.
Yeah. No, that was when you came. Because yes, that's right. So
it was close to when it started.
yes, and this was 2 or 3 years ago. His son died in a car wreck. His son was like 18, 19 years old. And it was like one of those 2 a.m, knocks at the door type things. I hated that. And I remember the next guy had in line, like everything. I was like, not that you're second to that dude. I just had talked to him for a while. And I thought, I wonder who this Michael dude is. Okay, I'm going to give him a ring or whatever. And it just kind of went from there. And he brings down Rich and his son Zeke and all those guys. They do the D now. And I thought, that's awesome. And it's just really bloomed from there. And it's been awesome, man. What's up, Rich?
Yeah, Richard Randall, a.k.a. Big Rich. I didn't
That's
ask.
right.
I didn't ask for the name.
Are you sure?
I am positive. But I'm from. Well, I live in Kennett, Missouri right now. I am a deacon, associate pastor at Rector, whatever you want to call my title. I don't know. I just help in
A bit of everything.
Yeah.
I love the no titles thing. That's awesome. Like that's what you do, but you're just like whatever. I just want to help.
I just do whatever Mike tells me to do. That's what I do.
Oh, gosh.
And
If he only did those two things, he would get a break from all the things that he does. So it's like,
But me and Mike have been connected for 6-7 years now, something like that.
Yeah.
And I'm just super excited to be here this weekend because it just started just like last night, and already you've seen breakthroughs in some of these kids, and it's just an amazing thing to be a part of.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Disclaimer: they have a podcast show called Almost Brothers Podcast.
Almost Brothers Podcast.
And we love that show. We heavily support that show. I wear this hat, Almost Brothers Podcast. I think every time I do this podcast, and
Awesome.
I have mentioned you guys. You called mid-podcast one time.
Yeah.
I think that one had like 5,500 views just on Facebook alone. So they heard you.
Yeah.
And now that you can put a face to the voice, he called. We were in the middle of it. He called, and I was like, "Hold on, this is gonna be good." And I said, "Hey, man, you're on a podcast." And I put on speaker, and they could hear him in the. It was pretty cool.
I'm like, I'm sorry. He's like, "No, it's okay. You're on, man."
And then he goes, "What are you doing with your life?"
Subscribe. What are y'all doing?
Yeah, but it's awesome. I'm glad you guys are here. I agree about the weekend so far. It's probably been one of the. I'm not gonna say the best one because they're all great. But this is one that I've been anticipating. I'll put it that way. And I knew it was going to be good because we've had speakers that we've had in the past. I think, yes, everybody that's been a speaker or a worship leader or something are here this weekend, either leading worship, speaking, or pouring into the kids. Like, they all know you guys. Yeah. And it's awesome having a familiar face.
I think the best thing about this one is our youth have been anticipating this for a while now. Yeah. So, you know, we made it through the summer, did all the mission trips and all the youth camps and everything, and we kept going through the whole summer. And when school started, we kind of started talking, you know, like things that we're looking forward to this year and where we want to go with things. And, you know, it's going to be very hard at the end of the year because we got a lot of seniors this year in the youth group. And they all know it's their last year, but they've been talking for a while about how amped they are for this weekend. And they have brought so many of their friends in that I've never seen before.
Yeah, same here.
And so it's like, man, that's awesome. Like, they're going out, they're reaching out to their friends, they're bringing them in, getting them, you know, here for at least for the weekend to try to get them to pour in and you know, buy in to being a part of the youth group and not being a loner anymore. And just seeing the connections, seeing them at the host house, you know, last night, and they're already bonded as one, even though they may not know each other and stuff like that. And so even the kids you guys brought down, I mean, they're already meshing. And so it's great to see, you know, how far a year has come from where they were last year at this point to where they are this, you know, now. And it's like, man, it's only getting better.
Dude, something to take away from that. I know teenagers, and this applies for adults too. They fight it. They're nervous. They don't know anybody. They don't want to go. Mm-hmm. And then a lot of them, what's sad is they'll come that senior year. It's like, well, I'm just going to go because it's the only one I would get to go to. And then they go first night in. Why haven't I been doing this for the last 3 years? Right. Yeah. Why have I not been doing this? Why have I been fighting this? This is so good. It's not some weird cult experience where, you know, it's you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. And they love it. And then they're sad at the end because they think, I'm about to graduate in like 4 months, 5 months, and I could have been doing this for the last 6 years. Yeah. Yep. Oh, man. And I try to tell them that. You can talk to them till you're blue in the face, but then they come and they're like, but either way, I think about adults, you know what I mean? But it's like they fight going to a good thing. Yeah. Like, man, well, I should have been this a long time ago.
Yeah. The nice thing about that, though, is because both of us have started a young adult ministry now. Yeah. You know, being 1 to 2 months into it. And so the nice thing about that is, even though they're starting late, they're not done. Like, we hook them, you know, we get to pour, you know, all the love into them now, and it's not just for this weekend. Get them through the school year, and then like, hey, you're not done. Like, we have this young adult ministry. Right. Let's, you know, get you plugged into that, and they're going to be, oh man, like, let's do that because I started late. I want to keep going.
And I want to make it to where, okay, was it Rich or Mike I was talking to last night about my son wanting to get in? It may have been Sean. I'm not sure, but I was talking to somebody about how Sawyer, he couldn't wait to get in 6th grade so he could be a part of all this. That's my son. He's in 4th grade, and at 6th grade is when it starts, and he cannot wait. And every 5th grader, they're just like chomping at the bits. They want to be in the youth and do all this cool stuff. Well, by 12th grade, I want them to be able to have something that's that same amped up, can't wait to do. It's going to be a little bit different. In our first young adults class, they got their phones to put them up at the front.
Oh, that's awesome.
Well, and it's funny because they all ask, they're like, can we do this still?
We do this?
And we're like, you're adults
that's right.
now.
I said, guys, you don't have to. And they said, well, can we put them up here? I said, you can if you want to. A couple put them up there at the. Awesome. I was like, that's crazy. Like, you're adults. If you want to be on Facebook while I'm teaching, I mean, that's on you. I mean, I'm not going to do that in a sermon, like call out an adult, be like, what are you doing? Right. I mean, so you're adults now. I'm going to treat you like one. But yeah, it's an awesome transition. And there are things I have set in place for them, and it might be next October. But I'm talking to a guy in Scotland in the Highlands, and we're thinking about doing like a mission trip over. They don't know this yet, by the way. So if they're watching this podcast, Dang it.
Cat's out of the bag.
A little bonus for watching and listening.
Right, a little bonus,
Yeah.
and you keep it to yourself.
That's right.
So don't tell anybody else.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if it's going to work out or not, but I didn't know they have a big problem with their young adult ministry out there. It's around a brewing factory where they make a lot of whiskey and stuff, I guess.
Yeah.
And it's like they say it's tore that town apart.
Yeah.
And it's over in the Highlands, and the pastor over there, it's north of Edinburgh. And he was telling me, I haven't actually spoke to him on the phone. We've been emailing and texting each other.
Yeah.
And he said he'd like to do a FaceTime call sometime. He said he's very keen on seeing where this could go. He words things like a true
Yeah.
Scottish person. I
Yeah.
think that's pretty cool. But anyways, I thought about doing that with them. So when the guys graduate and they're like, wait a minute, these guys are going overseas. They're getting not that it's more important than what's here at home, but it brings back that excitement when you get home.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
okay, I don't know.
Yeah.
So I
Get don't
know
you
what you
amped
guys
up,
have.
man. Put some, lights of fire under everybody. So
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So this weekend, Michael, you're talking about trapped in sin.
Yes.
And I love the scriptures you're using for that, how you went from David. And I didn't know where you were going to go with that. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
thought, what's next? What character's next? And I walk in the sanctuary because I was doing some things outside and I seen the verses. I thought, oh, man, yeah, Samson and Delilah. So now I don't know where tonight's going. Are you going to give us a spoiler or what? Like, come on, man. Like, they cannot hear us. This is a soundproof room.
No,
Please.
no. That's what Rich is always trying to get. Like, hey, give me a little bit of a heads up on what you're doing. Like, no.
Nothing?
Nope.
Not. I mean, what if I turn all of our stuff off and they can only hear you?
Nope.
But
No,
I teach a class on Wednesday night. It's called Digging Deeper, and it's on his sermon from Sunday.
Yeah.
And he still won't give me a heads up to give me more prep time. No, he don't even care about my life at all.
You're hurting at that point. You're not helping. Come on.
Like we have somebody that does like our words and stuff, scriptures on the screen. So I even try to keep that to the last minute. So
Wow.
because I really like those click moments, those I really feed off of I love that. And getting people to see the scripture or the story or whatever in a different way is like something that I really enjoy. So I try to give that to which I'll do a QR code at the beginning.
Right.
Like, here's all the scriptures for today. But I try to keep it.
And I can tell you, I have seen a version of this series before.
Yeah.
Do you have an idea then?
Man.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, tonight's going to blow your mind.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm excited.
Yeah.
You need to tell me.
You're not leaving this room until you tell us.
Blow my mind.
It's stuck in here. That's pretty good, man. Which does Bobby know what we're doing?
I don't know
I know part of what you told me.
about the prison cell,
Yes.
the cage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Your dad's actually bringing the chains.
Oh,
Yeah, I was about to say you could say it. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Well, they shouldn't be able to hear us. But
they can't hear us.
yeah, we're like 3
It's-
rooms away from them.
It's gonna be so good. I'm pumped, man.
So-
Yeah, 'cause I've done it probably 4 years ago,
Yeah.
something like that. So I
Okay.
did, and anytime I redo like a sermon or a sermon series, I try to change it up to where it's not just the same.
Yeah, it's not the same.
Same
Right.
premise, but a
Yeah.
little bit different.
Because
So,
I mean that's important because not only for you but also for someone that has learned it before. And like
Yeah.
Jared and I talk all the time. It doesn't matter how many times you read something in here.
Yeah.
Every time you read it, you're going to get something different because it's
Absolutely.
based on where you are at that moment and what God is telling you at that moment.
Yeah.
And so that's the nice thing is every time you're like, hey, I've already done this before. I'm going to dust it off. But then when you go through it, you're like, ooh, well, God's telling me right now I need to focus on this instead of last time I focused over here. And that's the nice thing about it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's like
Absolutely.
this morning, everything's focused on David, and it should be for lesson purposes. But it hit me. I was looking at that, and I said, when have I ever been Delilah? When have I ever been the guys coming in the room looking for it? Or last night, I was like, when have I ever been Uriah? When have I ever been Bathsheba? And I know I'm not saying like people are looking at me and wanting me and all that. I don't mean that. I'm not that I'm super desirable or anything. I'm not talking about that, but like where you're the ire of something bad's coming your way and you don't even see it yet. Just different points of view from it because I'm looking at it and I thought, well, I mean, what if I'm not David in this story? What if I'm somebody else?
Man, and that's good.
I love that.
I talked to some ladies like how about like there's certain stories in the Bible where we kind of focus on the guy.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
it's like, man, think about Delilah in that. Like, you kind of had to listen to him. Like, hey, the king said, "Come here." So like she she fell into all this nonsense because she had to listen to him. Or like, we talk about the woman who's caught in the act. It always talks about the woman who was caught in the act. It never talks about the man that was caught with her.
Yes.
Right.
So it's like he got off scot-free. Like y'all was trying to stone her and just, so I love seeing things like that. It's like, I never thought about that. I never seen it that way.
It's like Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane. We all put ourselves in the disciples' shoes. The other 11 watching this happen, like, how dare you? When it's like we do this every day, what he did in that garden. Judas, we've done that. We put him there in that place. We put him in that position. And I don't think a lot of people think of it that way because I naturally think of myself as being one of the disciples. Like, dude, like the betrayer in parentheses, like it has in the Gospels. It's like, how dare you? But I think internally, I do it every day. Yeah. I may not say it, but it happens.
Well, I mean, there's that song that I Am Barabbas. How many times like you're sitting there like, as I listened to that song the first time, I was like, whoa, like I am Barabbas. Like I have done all this and everything. And so just now when you were talking, from the other side of, different characters and stuff, one of the points I wrote down was be careful who you talk to. And many of times as you do, doing self-reflection, am I being a good person? Because I tell people all the time, you can call me at any hour, any day, no matter what, call me. I'm a good listener, and I'll be your person that you need. But how many times have I failed when I said that?
Yeah.
Was I actually being the person that they needed, and was I being a true caregiver? Or did I take what they did and I funneled it, for evil or something like that? Was I the weakness at that point?
Well, inevitably they're going to call it the worst possible time.
Yeah.
So even just putting everything else to the side to be like, okay, let me focus on what you need right now. Just even doing that can be difficult sometimes.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely, man.
Because you can hear it in your voice.
Yeah.
And that person call, oh, hey, what were you doing? Oh, I was just doing this. Oh, I'm sorry, I will call you later.
Right.
No, like, go ahead, like, I'm good. But the whole time you're talking to them, you can tell it in your voice.
Yeah. Right.
And when you feel it, it sounds that way. Even though they can't see you, but they can feel it through the tone of your voice and everything. So
when your body mannerisms, that itching to go, or with me, I'll say, walk with me, and we'll just start walking and talking. It's like, just, I really want to hear what you got to say, but I'm on this time schedule I got to be on. Walk with me and talk. But I think there's something said when you just set aside that time. It's like, I'm done. What do you got to say?
Right.
And you got to just relax in it and just actually listen. Well, that's hard for me.
That's what Mike says all the time. Every Sunday, people will come to him at service starts at 10 o'clock, so it's 9:45. Like, hey, can I talk to you now? Like right now.
Yeah.
You're not the only. I've seen that. I mean, here I've seen that in other churches where the lead pastor, they're back there, they're doing this, they're getting ready. Even days we're doing baptisms and all this other stuff. And it's not just one person.
Right.
Hey, pastor, and they'll go up to him, and then the chatting starts. Right. And it's cool, awesome. And then they'll say, "Can I ask you something?" And I know in their mind what's going on, but you would never see it. And they're like, "What's going on?" They're laughing. Yeah. And the second that conversation's over, they're hightailing it. Yeah. Like it's time to.
Yeah, it's like I gotta get out of here. Like I really do.
The internal clock is ticking.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, I can only talk to you for about 2 more minutes because I got to go do this. I got to go do this.
Yeah. I've had somebody grab me, like I'm standing by the stage, like we have a countdown, and I'm waiting, and they're like, "Hey, can you come meet so and so?" And I'm like, "There's a minute 15, and I've got to be on stage. Like, can this not wait?" Well, I think they're going to leave right after. So I had to go and meet somebody, and like the whole time I'm just like, hurry. And it's like you want to give them your attention, but it's like,
okay, I'm playing devil's advocate here.
Yeah.
Time, that can be an enemy.
Yes.
We put that restraint on ourselves.
Yeah.
But we're trying to also be good stewards of the people that the other 100, 200, 300 people that are in the room of their time. So you only have a certain amount of time you can give your message.
Right.
But at what point do we say flexible of, okay, I got 2 or 3 minutes. I just need to chill out. That clock's going to go off after that. I just need to chill out, and maybe this is going to change their day.
Yeah, and that's good. And it's...
I don't mean to be that guy, because I promise you, I know what it is to be in that position of, I just did it yesterday. Like, dude, I'm going to go. I got to go.
And it's kind of in the moment deciding, like, okay, how do I feel about this? Is this something that is an important thing to where, okay, we can... Because you do. If you've got one person that needs something but 100 people that they need to be out on time.
Yes.
You kind of need to respect people's times. But, trying to make some allotment for both of those. So like what I'll do is like I'll usually tell someone, "Hey, can we meet right after?" And if it's just a no, okay, I'll make time for you right now.
Right.
Let's figure this out now, And now we've got a secretary where it's now like, "Hey, go get with her, and I'll make sure I carve out time for you." Because you also, for that person, you don't want to give them 3 minutes when it's a 20-minute conversation that needs to be had.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's trying to steer them that way, and if it's impossible, then hey, we'll figure this out.
Well, you can't have a hippie mindset.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
if they call it Malawi time when I'm in Africa, you're on Malawi time. That means they don't have watches.
Yeah,
they
so
just
just
show up when they
whatever.
show up, and
Yep.
they leave when they want to leave. And
Yeah, and that's chaos.
it can be, yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like,
Well, and I got a really good story to tell about time and exactly what we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
It was also one of the multiple times that Mike had to correct me, but so
Oh, no.
yeah, it
Fun.
happens that pastors have to correct people sometimes. But so they call me the Time Nazi, and it's not a fun nickname. It's not like ha ha ha. ha.
Yeah.
That's
It's-
me.
It's a
it's,
problem.
I love it.
Yeah. So
He is.
I like to be on time. I'm a punctual guy.
Air bump.
Yep, I got you. Yeah.
That's me.
He looks so confused.
Yeah, I was like, I don't
Dude,
know what's
right there?
happening right there. Look like some Power Rangers. So I don't know what's going on.
Sorry,
So-
didn't mean to interrupt you.
So we're getting ready to start service, and I'm telling Mike, hey, it's time to start. We're talking about why we are not starting at the time,
Right.
and so I go to him the first time. I'm like, dude, it's time. We need to get going. And then he's like, yeah, we'll do that in just a minute. Come back again. I'm like, dude, it's like 10 after. I was like, what's the hold up? Why are we not starting? And he just looks at me. He's like, Richard, look, we're going to start when I start, right?
Right.
So
That's when the fire and it starts
and
boiling.
that's what happened, man. That temper raised up a little bit, and it took a little bit. Like it took till after service to be like, all right, I got it. So there was a guy that came in, and he came after service. He came to Mike, and he's like, I didn't know if I wanted to come today. He said, but I'm glad that y'all started a little late, because if the music and stuff had been going, I wouldn't even came in.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, dang it.
God thing. Wow.
Yeah.
So
And it was,
he
I
just-
had no idea. He was like,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah, if I'd have been late, like if I'd have got to the door and it was, I wouldn't have came in."
Wow.
He's like, so it was perfect timing, and I was like, and it was just a moment where it just happened to work that way, and we were
Right.
just running late, and it's like, and it was one of those things where I didn't feel rushed. Like it's like,
Right.
no, there's
Yeah.
there's
We're good.
something going. Yeah,
Right.
it's like because there's a lot of times where you feel it's like, okay, we need to
Yes.
get going. Like, why is this not going?
Right.
It was like in that moment, it was just like, no, it's okay. We're
Yeah.
gonna wait a
Well,
few minutes.
and I always feel like during those moments, if you had other people that are in charge of different things, like if they're playing the music or
Yeah.
if they're singing a song, or take leadership, take ownership of that moment. Like you can see, there's still people praying at the altar. You can
Yeah.
see that the pastor's talking to somebody. Maybe there's
Yeah.
like 3 people that came up, and he's got to talk to each one. So they're all waiting, and he's giving them time with this one, giving time with this one. So it's just going. And when you're just standing there in the audience and it's kind of like we're just listening to the music, but no one's singing, it's just kind of like dead. And we're all just like watching, like, okay, let's go. I think in those moments, when you're the ones that are like leading the music or leading the whatever, like let's be a filler. See that God is moving right now and be an instrument while that's happening.
Right.
So that way everyone else, even though we did go long, it doesn't take away from everyone sitting there going, well, why are we not done yet?
Yeah,
I think a lot of that's discernment.
yeah.
And the Holy Spirit, you just kind of know. And some people have that in spades. Like
Right.
they
Yeah.
can read a room. They know
Yeah.
if it needs to go longer.
Yeah.
And if it's time like that. And some people really have that. Some people have none of that whatsoever.
Yes.
And I think it's a gift. Like discernment is a gift.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And
That some people
I had
have.
a pastor that really helped teach me in this moment. It was probably 6 years ago. And he was like, well, you also have to understand that there are people that are in charge of kids, in charge of other ministries. And if they have a plan for 45 minutes,
Yeah.
and now you wait 15 minutes to get started, now they're at the tail end, they're sitting here having to figure out what to do for an extra
Yes.
however long. So
Right.
it's like respect like if you're trying to build something, you're trying to build leaders and get volunteers and get people to buy in, think about them too.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know, because that's a whole different panic. If you're in kids ministry and you're like, oh, it's going 15 minutes longer in service, like
We're done.
How do I keep these kids in line? And you can get people to go, no, I don't want to be a part of that if you don't respect their time as well. You know, so
that's hard for me. Before I was even in the military, my dad and my mom, I mean, extremely precise on time. My dad's early, and there's a saying. I heard it when I was a kid growing up, and I heard it in the military.
Your stupid saying.
Well, I don't know. We'll see. I'll tell you what he said, and also I heard it in the military, but I heard it growing up. If you're 15 minutes early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late. If you're late, don't even show up.
Okay.
Amen.
This is the dumbest quote in the entire world.
And that's how I live my life.
And this is what Richard used to say. That this
I
is
still say
exactly.
it.
And and I get the thought behind it. And I just always
Do
like,
you though?
Yes, I do. But words matter. Okay, so when you say, well, if you're on time, you're late. No, because the word on time means on time.
No, that means it's starting. It
doesn't mean late.
That is
on
not,
time means on time.
That is not a literal thing. It's a
It
figure
is
of
a literal
speech.
thing. It is not a figure of speech.
Okay, I'll take it literally then. All right, you start
People
service
live-
at 10. You don't walk in the door till 10 o'clock, then see what happens.
That's right.
You got to be early to be on time, right?
No, you're early
Lies.
to be early. Like you're early to be early. Like that's the meaning of the word. So we don't tell people. So instead of going, hey, if you're early, you're on time. We tell people be early, not be on time, which means be early.
Well,
We tell
okay,
them
this is
be
a
early.
saying for go-getters who take it serious.
See,
They're early. Go-getters are early.
Yeah.
Mike
That
would have
doesn't
hated
mean
this
on
part.
time.
It does to us, though. It makes perfect sense to
Yes.
us.
It's because we're a little older.
It's like saying,
That's
well,
it,
saying
that's it.
hat means shoe.
That's
No,
not
it doesn't.
the same
It is the
thing.
same
Hey,
thing.
man,
That's apples and oranges right there.
It is not. Words have meanings.
So
do.
You would have hated then, because in the military, Jared and I unfortunately had this experience of the leader tells you, we're going to start thing at, let's say, 4 o'clock. Okay, cool, 4 o'clock.
16 or 04?
16.
Okay.
We'll say 1600. And then it gets passed down from them down to the officers. So then the officers are like, back it up 15 minutes. And then it gets passed down to the platoon leader. Back it up. By the time you get told what time to be there, you're now showing up an hour and a half early from someone else because they don't want to be late because their boss told them. So then we're like, why are we sitting here for an hour and a
you
half
just
before
wait, and you
So the
wait.
saying in the military is
Hurry up and
to
wait.
I've
Yeah.
heard that one, yeah.
That's why.
But then you tell people be early. This is what time we start. Be early.
We've literally had this argument for 6-7 years.
Well,
It's
and
just
you
nonsense.
make it extra complicated for no reason.
It's not complicated.
It is very when you tell somebody, okay, we're starting at 10 o'clock.
Okay.
You would expect your leader to do what?
show up in enough time to make sure they're ready to go.
Right.
On time,
So-
which is early.
No, no. You expect them to be early. So when we tell somebody, hey, be early, that means be early. If we don't ever say, like as a leader, never tell your people be on time. You tell them be early.
Agree to disagree.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with Rich on the agree to disagree. Just to clear that up.
Because then it's like, okay, we're starting at 10 o'clock and someone shows up at 10 o'clock. You cannot, at a job, you can't anywhere now say, you're late, so we're going to get
Why
rid of
chance
you.
it though? Because you could clock
So
in
you-
2 seconds after, and then boom,
So
you're
if
getting
I was a manager at
in trouble.
McDonald's and I said, you start at 5 and they got there and started at 5?
If it's on the dot, that's
Yes.
fine. But then he's coming
That's
in
what
all
I'm
out of
saying. But
shape, and
then if it's on time, you can't then say you're late. No,
Okay.
I'm not. I clocked in at 5 o'clock.
okay, you're the manager. You see
Yeah.
a guy come in, he's clocking in right at 5 every day.
Yes.
And then he jumps right into his job.
Yes.
Right? Okay, then you have this other guy, or girl, whatever, and she's getting there 15, 20 minutes early and setting everything up, making sure her stations are ready and all that. Then it comes promotion time.
Okay,
Who
hold
gets
up.
that promotion?
Okay,
Yeah.
so number one,
Who's the responsible
I
one?
would hope the one that comes 15 minutes gets a promotion
Why?
because they've
Why?
been working for free. So you can't tell somebody work for 15 minutes before we pay you.
But they get the promotion because they have initiative. They got
no,
there. They
the
take
better
their job
worker
serious.
gets the promotion because they may not be a
She's
better
already
worker.
shown that she's the better worker.
They may not be the better worker just because you come in early.
This is all
and set
fictitious
up.
scenario. I could say she's an amazing worker, and that other guy just shows up at 5 and then he goes to sleep.
So same scenario. The one that shows up at 15 minutes till or 15 minutes before they clock in, so they're working for 15 minutes for free.
I don't
And
look at
they-
it as free. I don't look at
And
it
they
as free.
set everything up, and they're a terrible employee, and they have a bad attitude, and they're
Oh,
sucking
that could
their
be the
job.
case.
or the person that shows up on time at 5 o'clock and they're a great employee, they do what they do, they're helping advance, who gets the promotion?
But we're talking about after the time
Not
begins.
the one that's there
I'm
early.
talking about before the time begins, based on the 15 minutes prior or lack thereof.
If you're asked to be there
This
at
is
5
why
o'clock,
I agree to disagree and just stop.
I can
talking
see
to
where
you.
this goes.
Yeah.
and you're there at 5 o'clock, you are good to go.
You cannot convince Mike he's wrong on this.
Okay,
point.
I'll tell you something from
He's gonna-
honest
he's gonna
experience.
keep
Well, because
trying to
I worked at a place that didn't pay you for getting ready 10 minutes before you started.
Can I give you, and then I'm done. I promise you, I don't want to say
At
anything
least-
after this.
At least we know how to write a check, though.
That's
This is
true.
true.
That's a good point.
We'll talk. This is on our podcast, so we can talk about this. They haven't heard this yet. We'll go there here in a second. So my dad, my grandpa, they all own sawmill businesses, lumber companies, stuff like that. Where it's just woodwork and things like that. So it's really hard because people don't want to work that job. It's a hard job, and when they come in, the ones that from experience, the ones that come in because they'll be there 15 minutes early, 20 minutes early. They getting their gloves on, they're setting their station up, getting everything ready, make sure the pallets are set up just right, making sure they got their banding ready so when the meal kicks up, and that starts sending that thing down there fast. They're stacking railroad ties and everything else. And there's those guys that come in early and they're getting everything ready, and then there's that guy that comes in right on time or maybe 2 minutes early. They're running in there, and 9 times out of 10, the guy that would come in there early taking their job serious are the ones that they'd be there for 5, 10, 15 years, and the other guy was there for a month, would do really good those first 3 or 4 days, and then within a couple of weeks, they were getting there a little bit later, and that's every now and then you get that guy that's there on time, and they're there for decades, but I've noticed when the guys that get there early, and that's like they take it serious. They want to, I don't know, it's like me. I want to make sure my stuff's set up. It helps my mind, and that's why I get in early. It just gives me that opportunity to settle in before the chaos starts.
Right. And that's all it is a mindset.
It is mindset.
Well,
It's not grammatically correct, I guess, for lack of a better. It's not the words. Yes, have meaning, but it's not. It's a mindset. It's not. You know what I mean?
Well,
Mental preparation.
Well, and here's my
Yeah.
mindset behind it. If I'm working at a place for 10 years
Yes.
and I come in early and am doing things for this workplace, setting up equipment, getting things prepared at this work site, 15 minutes every day, I am now thousands of hours of work that I am not getting paid for by this company. That is not okay.
But you're not working during that time.
But you are.
You're
if
getting your
setting
own
up
personal stuff kind of
But
getting
that's
ready.
not your that is preparation for that job.
It's a mindset.
That is preparation for that job.
What time do you come in on Sunday morning, Mike?
You could be a rep for the
And
workers
guess what?
union.
That's part of
for
what I
like-
get paid for. I don't come in and do it because I want to come in and do it.
Oh yeah.
That's
when
part of
when
the
was your
job.
last day off?
What does that have to do
Because
with
you
coming
are
in
also
early or
scheduled
not?
days off.
be over the pastors union.
But it's you're talking millions and millions of dollars of employees that are expected to come in. Hey, get your station clean, get your equipment on.
Well,
That's
and the company shouldn't expect that. Let's make that
No,
clear.
we never made them.
Right.
That's on their own accord.
Right.
As long as you're here at this
Right.
time, you're good.
And that's where I work now. And we've gone way long on this particular subject.
Yeah,
but,
we did.
But
We really did.
yeah, but I come in early to do my pre-trip on my vehicle off the clock, and I do it just because it's done. I don't have to worry about it. It's done. They don't expect me to do that. They don't pay me to do that. I do it because I want to do it, and I want it to be done. It's not an expectation. It's just the way I do it.
Right.
There are other guys that don't. That's on them. I don't care. It's the way I do things.
It's because we're big boys now.
are those guys worse workers than you?
I have no idea. We don't work together.
Okay. Would you work overtime for free?
I do sometimes.
Work
I
overtime.
mean, obviously, I come in before clocking in and do my pre-trip, so that's technically, I guess, overtime for free.
I did overtime back when I worked at a paper plant, and we clocked in 30 minutes early, and we clocked in at 5:30. Our pay didn't start till 6. But we did that so the guys coming off shift could leave at 5:30.
Right.
So we would hook each other up so we could leave earlier.
I definitely understand what you're saying. I get it.
Oh, I do, 100%. You're right. They don't need to start till 5. They're not getting paid till 5, and if
Right.
they work awesome till the end of the clock, there's nothing wrong with that.
Well,
That's
'cause
great.
then where would the line draw? Okay, now 15, now 30 minutes, now an
No,
hour, now 2
that's
hours.
personal. That's a personal preference. That's what we're
Right.
talking about. It helps me set up my mind for the day.
Sure.
Some people don't need that. Some people can just rock and roll right when they get in there.
Yeah.
So there's no real right or wrong. That's just preference. At the end of the day, wow.
Moving on. All right, here we go.
Oh boy.
I told you, like,
Moving on.
I told you 20 minutes ago that you were not getting anywhere with this,
You're
and you
absolutely
kept
right.
going.
Well,
I tried,
the
I
problem
tried.
is he likes rabbit holes and he chases the rabbit hole with them.
Yeah. Down we go. It was good.
Yeah.
But we both. Yeah. I see where you're at. I don't think you see where I'm at.
Yeah.
But you do. It's like you don't have to, but it's just a
Yeah,
mental-
and you can have that mindset, but people with that mindset
We were
usually.
moving on. We didn't move on.
We
no,
didn't
I'm
move
saying
on.
I
No, we didn't go
But
anywhere.
people with that mindset usually put it on others. That's
Because he
Oh,
brought it
not
back up
me.
again.
Because I'm a good guy. I stay in my lane, man.
And he's pointing at me because I absolutely expect other people not to be early to everything. My point is I expect people to respect other people's time. And people that come in late, it irks my nerves to the nth degree. I can't stand it. It is so disrespectful, so
Actually
discourteous.
late,
Yes,
yeah.
actually
late, yeah.
And they'll come in with like drinks from Sonic, and it's like, hey, I'm finally here. Don't come in. Just leave. I don't even
How'd
want
they
you
do it?
here. Yay, like that. Yeah. I don't know.
Bobby does that when he comes here
That's
and podcasts
that's a
sometimes with his
Starbucks
drinks.
I do.
cup.
But I'm
Late.
also here on time.
All right, so I think we're going to move past this. Okay?
Yeah,
All
let's
right,
move
because
on.
it is
Okay,
time
are you
to move
sure?
past it. Yeah. Bobby, you've been looking at your paper there for a little bit, for about a good 20 minutes now.
Yes. So back to last night's topics and stuff and everything. There was a point that you had mentioned last night that I really liked, that I really think the youth really got a lot out of, and that was that God doesn't want you to come to Him out of guilt. He wants you to come to Him out of love. And so many times I find myself feeling guilty. A few episodes ago, Jared and I did our testimonies on here. And so as we start talking about it, and it's just like, during all of those times, I know I'm doing wrong. I'm on the edge, flirting back and forth with everything. And so there's so many times out of guilt that you go to Him. You're like, man, I really messed up with this. Like, I feel guilty about it. Like, and it's so many times that becomes the routine, and not the routine of, I love you and I'm going to go to you because I love you and I want your love. Out of that side.
Yeah.
I think about when I was a kid, and I'd feel super guilty about something, and guilt doesn't make me want to go and tell my dad what I did. But him being loving and understanding, it's like, okay, I know I'm not about to just get smacked with every insult and why you're so stupid and all these things. I'm not going to go to that guy. No matter how much guilt I feel, but if I know he's loving, he's understanding, and he's sitting there waiting to give me good, sound advice, I'm going to go over there. And it's like, I messed up. Like, I messed up big time, because there's love is a massive part of the equation.
Yeah.
I agree.
And that's how it was when we grew up. Churches would guilt trip you into coming down to the altar, because that's how pastors viewed, if my sermon was good, the altars were full. Not if lives are changing.
Right.
And what happens is we go to God, like you said with your dad, we go to God out of guilt because we're scared to get in trouble, not out of love because we need help. So when you understand that I need help out of this situation, and not, I just feel bad and I don't want to be punished for this situation. Now it goes from a get out of jail free card to a relationship with Jesus.
Yes.
So it's not just, I believe in God because I don't want to go to hell. It's, I believe in Jesus because He loved me while I was still a sinner.
Well, and it's harder to come to that place when you didn't have a good earthly father.
Yeah.
I didn't have that, so for me to understand the love of a heavenly father, I had to first understand that there are better earthly fathers.
Yeah.
Right.
So it was, which I didn't come to Christ till I was 38 years old. So I was one of those, like we were talking in the beginning, that just waited and waited and waited, and then I came to it and I was like, man, I wasted a lot of years
Right.
waiting to come to God. So I think that's part of it, is just getting over that understanding
Yeah.
of what God has for you.
And I think, like you had talked about last night, the root cause. Like a lot of times I got depression, I got anxiety. Okay, cool. I had this and whatever, and I just try to get rid of that one thing, and I never take a step back to look at the bigger picture of what is the root cause of all the things that I have right now.
Yeah.
And like you talked about this morning, what is the weakness? Where's the weakness in my life that's about to cause the pipe to burst?
Right.
Yeah.
And once I figure out what that weakness is, once I figure out what the root cause is, then I can go through and I can get, because so many times in our life, we'll sit there and I'm going to pull this weed out. I'm going to pull this weed out. And the weed keeps coming back. Well, why does the weed keep coming back? Because all you did was pull the weed out. You didn't put any of the weed killer down. You didn't do any of the other stuff. Like, you didn't get to the root cause of why that weed is still right there and festering.
Yep.
And so as I've learned over really the last year, 18 months since I've been back and been back involved in the church, and my relationship with God has gotten better and closer, you're seeing these things.
Right.
And you're seeing what was the root cause for 20 years why I was down all these rabbit holes.
Yep.
And you felt guilty. You knew you were doing wrong, but I couldn't get rid of it. I didn't want to get rid of it, but why was that?
Yeah.
And so when you start examining your life and you get to that root cause, it allows, I don't know, I just love that. Once you identify and look for it.
I noticed when I was a teenager, 'cause I watched all them boys out there. I used to be that teenage boy. And I think about what makes the pipe burst, where that weakness is that the enemy can come in and go boosh and just caused it to fail. Changes every decade or every 4 years or whatever. It changes over time, because what got me back then doesn't get me now. What got me in my 20s doesn't get me now. What got me in my 30s doesn't really get to me anymore. Now it's different. It's not the same things. I don't have the same struggles I did back then. Those are almost minute issues. I don't even think about it. It doesn't cross my mind. I tell you what gets me now. Anger is my biggest one. And because frustration can build up, and I'm really good about putting on I'm just being honest, transparent. I'm not perfect, and I can put on a very good face in front of people. But when I get home and something doesn't set quite right, I've learned to just be quiet, because I'll get very vocal. Like, what are you doing? Go to your room. I can't just right now before I say something I shouldn't. That right there in of itself, my 9-year-old son goes, what is he going to say? Like, it's just full of wonder. And he sees his dad being this awesome guy around all these people. And then when he gets home, it's like, what just happened? Yeah. Who is that? Is that who he really is? And that's a struggle of mine. I'm just being honest with you.
So we had a conversation, not go into full details about it to keep it, some privacy for people out there. But there was a person that passed that to the outside world was this great person, really good love for the Lord, good ministry, good fellowship, good everything. And then, like you were just talking about behind closed doors, we got, we saw the ugliness.
Yeah.
And so I told that person at the time, when we're talking about it, was, I can't understand why everyone got to see all the good and all of this, but we never got to see it. And I told this person, I said, we took all the ugliness so that way they could show God's love and mercy to everybody else. So as much as it hurt for us, we were able to take that burden so that way she was, able to still use God's light out there for others.
Yeah.
And being retired from the military now and knowing, having been diagnosed with PTSD and depression and anger and all of that stuff, it is there. But I have found recently, now that I've gotten back in the Word, like you were talking last night with medication, everyone always, just give me more pills, give me this. Yeah. And there, 100%, there are things and times when you do need to get the pills.
Yeah.
But for me, I know how addictive my personality is. Mm-hmm. And if I start on that train, I'm never going to get off that train.
Yeah.
And so I've looked into, well, how do I manage, how do I keep the triggers at bay? I mean, I'm still going to have the bad days, the bad explosions, all that stuff. But the more time that I, listen to Josh and Jared preach, the more time I read, the word, like I find I'm able to go longer periods of time without the episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
What do you
so-
think about that, Mike?
Well, and it's usually the people closest to you that see the explosions, that see the bad side of you, because the closer you are to something, the more you see the problems with it.
Yeah.
And I'm a watch guy. Like, how do you know a fake watch from a? They have to literally get into the deep part. They have to get close to it. They have to see. From far, it looks the same. You
Yeah.
can't tell the difference between either one of them. So a lot of times we get home, and because we haven't dealt with the real, and usually the blow up has nothing to do with the person we blow up on.
No, not
It
at
has
all.
everything to do with something else, because there's something else that has taken root that caused the anger, that caused those things. And a lot of times you blow up on it, it's like, I'm not even really mad at you. I'm mad at something else going on. And if we don't get to the bottom of that many times in our life, that seeps into everything.
Yeah.
So now you're short-tempered. Now you're upset. Now you're getting anxious because you're short-tempered. You're scared to blow. You're scared these things are going to get to you, and it's because you aren't getting to the root problem of what is going on,
Right.
of what really is bothering you. It may be an anger issue, but the root of it is disorganization. And because you're disorganized, you get flustered, and then you get to this point to where now you're short and you're angry at people, and
Right.
that was a big thing with me. I had to really restructure, and I like Richard a few weeks ago. He said, man, I like this new restructured, organized Pastor Mike.
Yes.
Yeah.
On time.
Yes, because right, because I was hurting myself and being, it'll all get figured out. I know what I'm doing today, but I don't know when, and it's not scheduled, and I'll figure it all out. Then at the end of the day, I'm flustered, I'm tired, I'm upset, I'm running around trying to get things done because I didn't have that organ. So it's like you can blow up and you could try to cover it with other things, but if you don't get to the price, it's just going to keep happening.
Yeah. Oh,
So-
It's going to keep
I'm
happening.
going to ask you a question for those that are listening and they're sitting there going, okay, I agree 100%. We got to get to the root cause. How do you get to the root cause?
Be honest with yourself. That's the first thing. Is we like to fake ourselves out.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not really the problem. It's something else, because we like that thing. That's really the problem. It's not alcohol's not the problem. It's something else. No, it's alcohol. Or watching TV is not the problem. Yeah, it is. You're not spending time. Your wife's mad at you because you're not spending time with the wife because you're spending 8 hours watching TV. So being honest as self-evaluation and being honest with yourself, because others can see it.
Yeah.
But many times what others can see, we don't want to admit.
Right.
We're like,
Well,
no, it's not really a problem.
And I don't mind saying that the person in his sermon today he was talking to about having their phone locked down is me. I asked him to lock my phone down because I struggle with lust and pornography. So, but the problem is I don't know the root cause of that because I've got decades of crap built up in my head that I'm just now dealing with. A lot of my childhood is blocked out, probably to guard my psyche. But the first, and what you said was be careful who you talk to, right? The first person I shared this with at the first church that I started going to, he immediately said that, well, if you're dealing with that, we're going to have to take you out of any leadership, which is fine, but that doesn't help me.
That
not-
doesn't fix
yeah.
the problem.
that,
Right.
I mean, that's whatever you need to do, but what about my problem?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are we going to do to help me? And it was never addressed. It was just,
If anything, they're
ignore
going to make it worse.
sweep it under the
Yeah.
rug.
Yeah.
It was just, and it's like Mike said when I talked to him about this. He said, well, that pastor that I talked to apparently doesn't struggle with any sin himself, because
Perfect man, yeah.
Yeah,
Got it all
if
together.
you have nothing you struggle with, why are you in a leadership position?
Right.
So, I have not had the opportunity to get to the root cause of my problem. So,
And I think it's
I gotta
hard.
figure that out.
I think it's hard, especially in Richard, since he opened it. I think
open book, baby.
opened it, baby.
I try to be too.
I think a lot of yours, and it's some things are hard to get away from the root cause. The root cause of I think a lot of your stuff, especially like sexual trauma, is your family.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's hard to get away from, because Rich has got things in his past that was done to him. He's got, people that should have been there for him to help guide him in a certain way are celebrating sexual deviancy. So it's like that is a lot of that gets instilled in you. So now your brain is warped around that thing to where now it's hard to get a good, clear view of it. And I think that has a lot to do with even your past relationships and marriages. It's hard to have that grounded, rooted thing when you grew up.
Wait a minute, did you just call me warped?
That's not what I took from it, but
So it is. Sometimes it's something that can be as simple as you battle with depression because you're anxious about everything. You're just an over anxious person. But that is the root of it is your faith.
yeah.
Be anxious about nothing. Wow, by keeping faith, by doing these things. And it's like, if you keep going, okay, well, if I can just control my depression, I control. No, it goes deeper than that.
Right.
It's you're not leaning on God, understanding like He is going to make a way.
What bothers me is we were talking about how the pastor, like, you can't do this. Well, this is what bugs me. This is what I thought as you were saying that. As Rich was saying this, I thought about we make a certain sins like the leprosy. Like, you can't unclean. Like, don't come around me, get in your own little colony over here and stay away. You don't need to be around leadership. You don't need to be around the church. And when in all reality, like, everybody has issues. Everybody sins. Everybody has struggles. And the thing, and we are all, I'm trying to word this right. We're trying to do the right things.
Yeah.
We're seeking God. We're asking for accountability. And then you got this guy over here whose obvious sin is pride because they think that they can just walk around and everything they do smells fantastic.
Yeah.
And that's not the case. I mean, when I see that, and like we were talking about David last night when they were looking for the future king and he anoints David, he looks past all these other guys because God didn't see the outside, he's seen the inside. And I think when he sees a repentant heart, somebody that's looking, that's who needs to step in because they've dealt with these things. They're relatable, they're open, and they're transparent.
Yeah.
So people feel like, oh man, I'm dealing with this stuff. I can't go to that guy.
Right.
I mean, what do I do? And then you see these other guys over there and they're like, they know the word. They're very open about their past or what they're struggling with currently. That guy knows. That lady knows what I'm going through. And then they secretly go to them, what do I do? What are you doing for that? And then you can help them and guide them. When the other guy's going to say, I don't really know how to do this, but in the future, you're probably not going to be in a leadership role. In the future, you're probably not going to be able to be a deacon or even for sure not a pastor because heaven forbid a pastor have something wrong with them.
Right.
I don't know. That struck a nerve when you said it.
Yeah.
I've been divorced.
Yeah.
In a lot of Baptist churches, if you have a divorce, you're not being a pastor at our church because of the qualifications. Man of one wife. Well, there's a lot of other things in front of and behind that qualification that each one of them deals with. But that's like the golden pony that they put up here and say, you can't have done this one or you can't preach. It's like, well, a man of God is a man of God. If God put him there, God's going to keep him there.
Right.
I don't know, man. I just when you said that, my whole mind just went yes. Like it's
it does. It's like they take that because there is expectations of leadership. Absolutely, you need to.
And there should be.
But they take that so far, and what it has caused is caused a lot of leaders to hide what they are dealing with. So that's why we're seeing, oh my gosh, this pastor that's been pastoring for 50 years
Did this.
did that. Because it didn't start with an affair. It started with a lust problem. It grew into that.
Was it you that said no, I think it was on a podcast. It may have been you. I don't know. But they were talking about he fell so far. Did I hear that somewhere else? I did.
I don't know.
Okay, they're saying that pastor fell so far. And they said, no, he didn't. He fell just a very short way. You just didn't see the steps it took to get there. Is that you?
No.
Okay, I've heard that on podcast then.
Because it is. It starts as this problem that doesn't get dealt with. They felt they have to hide it. So they hide it, and it grows and grows and grows until finally.
Right.
And it goes to like what you talked about to the youth just now with Jared. I mean, it's a very lonely position being the youth pastor.
It can be, for sure.
And that's where I was sitting there thinking about that. And that's where I'm grateful, for Rich with you. And, now that I'm here with Jared, being able to be confidant in that and, trying to realize, you guys are human.
Yeah.
Just because you're a pastor doesn't mean I'm perfect. Nothing ever happens. Like, I don't feel any of this stuff. I don't have any of these temptations, none of this other stuff.
Right.
You're a human.
Yeah.
And you're living in the flesh right now, trying to be a Christ-like figure, and it's a very lonely, tempting world.
Well, and the crazy thing is, people actually expect you to be perfect.
Yeah.
And
Right.
I mean, we know what to do. We try our very best. It's that slow perfecting each and every day sanctification. And we try that. We know, and we submit ourselves to God. We die to the flesh. But what happens? We're sinful human beings. We're going to mess up from time to time.
Yep.
Everyone will fail you except Jesus at some point in time. I'm going to fail Bobby. I'm going to fail Rich. I'm going to fail Mike. I'm going to fail
Right.
my kids, my wife, my parents. List goes on and on and on.
Well, and with that, if you have the mindset of I fell out of faith, with the Lord or with God because my pastor did X, Y, and Z, then your faith was never in God.
Right.
Your
Yeah.
faith was in a man.
Yes.
And your faith needs to be on God.
Yep.
And everything we do, and this is what I love, about Josh says it every Sunday for us, is it's always all about Jesus. So
Yeah.
are we doing something? No. Why? Because it's not about Jesus.
When it happened with Jimmy Swaggart,
Yep.
thousands of people fell away from God because of this man. Your faith was in the wrong thing.
Yeah.
And that's why I love when Pastor Mike preaches. He's so and it's what everybody loves about his sermons is he's up there just saying, "Look, I'm broken. Okay, come to me if you see something wrong. If whatever it is, I'm here for you." He's a servant pastor,
Yeah.
is what I'd call him, because he doesn't get up there and say, "I got this all figured out. Y'all just sit there and listen to what I, the man of God, have to say."
Yes.
That's not how it works.
He said something at the conference I went to that you allowed me to preach at that I went far too long on.
So awesome. Man, that was so awesome, man.
We still
So
talk
good.
about
Oh,
that.
it still comes up. And I told Amanda I was sitting on that back row last night while you were preaching. And I didn't even look at my watch. I said, I owe him one. So if he wants to go like 2 hours, it's okay. I told her that. But when you said at the conference, I don't know if you said it before I started preaching or if it was after. I can't remember. It was before because I think I used it in the sermon. You said, I'm broken. If you're looking to me for the perfect man, you're not going to find it. Right. But the illustration you used it stuck with me because I didn't think about it. I said, if this roof fell in, it's going to land on me too. Like, I'm not perfect.
I'm here with
I'd
you.
never heard that before. And I thought, that's so true.
Yeah.
Every one of us are gone. I mean,
That's why
I don't
everybody
know.
say, "Oh, the roof will fall in, lightning will strike it." Well, I guess we'll both get struck.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about Paul's writings. Is Paul was the first one to go, "I am the worst,
Chief
Yeah.
of
of
sinners.
the worst."
Yes.
Like I am an apostle, and I am the worst of the worst
Yes.
because it's how people lean into him. Like, wait a second. Oh, okay. Hold
Because it's
up.
being transparent.
Yes,
And I love
like,
it.
People will listen to what you say, but they'll relate to you by who you are, by your
Yes.
mistakes, by your shortcomings. So being able, we have overcome by what? The blood of the Lamb and the word of our
That's right.
testimony. The us saying we were broken, but Jesus.
But
This
Jesus.
is a system that has been put in place for years
Yeah.
of pastors acting that way.
One, it's because they got special treatment.
Yeah.
It's because they got oh my gosh, he is just up on a pedestal, and it was an epidemic because people got in that position and they yearned for that.
Well, and to have that much, it's almost hard to blame them. I mean, I haven't put in that position, and you really have to have a good relationship one-on-one with God.
Yeah.
And it has to be daily, more than once a day, being in God's word, being with him, because I know how it gets. I get so busy doing stuff, and it's for God, but I don't have personal time with God.
Yeah.
And I start to feel it. I feel that strain, that distance, and I could see how guys in that position, especially when people put you up on this pedestal, and some people have addictive personality, some people have lone wolf personality, and everybody's different, but you get the right personality or the wrong personality with that kind of treatment. I can just see it getting elevated to a part where that's going to it's almost inevitable unless God takes over. But that's what I love about free will. I don't care what anybody says about predestination or Calvinism. We have a choice. Satan got cast out with a third of the angels because they chose to rebel against God. It wasn't in the ultimate grand scheme of things. God's not the author of evil, and we have a choice. And those pastors chose to do what they did. Those people chose to follow that pastor and then fall away after he did what he did. It was just a bad combination of choices being made.
Right.
Yeah.
That was a really weird way I went with
Absolutely.
that. But
And it was good. And I think now, I look back to when I was a kid and, seeing how the church was and to my 20s, 30s, I kind of went here and there, not really going to church again, and then here recently going to church again, and having Josh and the way that he does things and the way that we talk in our one-on-one times and stuff, I can see that people are starting to realize that there is a difference between knowing God and following God.
Oh, huge difference.
And I think, there's this famous reel that's going around of, what's the furthest distance in this room? It's a wall to wall, side to side, and all this other stuff. And the guy says, the 6 to 12 inches from your head to your heart.
Yeah.
That's going to separate you from eternity in hell or eternity in heaven.
Yeah.
And I think the newer generation is they're actually seeing that and they're understanding that. And we're actually starting to see people follow God and not just know about God.
Yeah.
And this morning when I was driving in to come in to make the breakfast and everything, I was, just really listening to a bunch of praise music and everything. I wanted to get my mind right for the day and everything. And Sea of Victory came on. And so I jotted down these little notes as soon as I got here, because one of my favorite part of that whole line is you take what the enemy meant for evil and you turn it for good, for the battle belongs to you. And I mean, just everything in life, the enemy, is meaning it for evil. People die. And the enemy's going to use that for evil. You did this bad act, the enemy's going to use it for evil. You did this other thing, the enemy's going to use it for evil. But God's going to take all of that and all that evil and all that's what it was meant to be, and he's going to glorify it and he's going to make a good thing out of it. And that he's already won the spiritual battle. And he's already won. It's already said, he's going to win.
Right.
Yep.
And now you just get to choose which side you want to be on.
Yep.
Right.
And so, it kind of just gave me peace this morning, with all that, as I was thinking about, everything that's been going on, not only in the world for the last couple of weeks, but in my own life and everything. And I was like, man, that song came on at the right time, at the right moment.
Yep.
Awesome.
That's good.
I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up if you guys are okay.
Yep.
I'm going to go around this way with concluding thoughts. Bobby?
So I would just say, I know you guys aren't going to watch this or hear this until Monday.
That's right.
And so it was good to be away. And, I wasn't a part of last week's little 10-minute devotional that Jared did. I was out of town. So it's great to be back. But I'm really excited for what tonight has hold, what tomorrow has hold. Yeah. I really see the youth growing. And just in some of our small group conversations last night, I was telling some of the ladies I was working in the kitchen with this morning, I said, I was reflecting that I've been here for a year now. Last year at DNOW, I was a part of it, but I was still kind of timid. Like I didn't really know all the kids. I knew some of them because my niece is in there, so I knew her friends, but I didn't really know all of them. And after being here for a year and getting to actually really know all the kids, feeling fully accepted with them, being able to actually lead and mentor them, and then seeing where they have grown from last year to this year, it's just unbelievable. And I'm really proud and excited for it. And I just can't wait to see what God has in store for this weekend.
No. So good.
So I just wanted to comment on what you were saying about people learning the difference between knowing God and following God. And I think that's why it's so important that y'all and us are starting this young adult ministry, because of that transition that's missing between youth and adulthood. So I think it's really important to do that. But I'm just super excited. It was 2 years ago that we were here at DNOW, and these seniors are the ones that we kind of poured into at that point, and just to see how much they've grown in their faith and their relationships. What y'all have here is special. What you built here is special, and I want to encourage you in that, because it's you built it, you and God, obviously.
Yeah.
God built it, used you, but I want to encourage you in that you're doing the right thing.
Thank you. That goes a long way. That really does.
Yeah.
That's good. Man, just so on time. It's no, I'm just kidding.
Dude, I mean, my wife's calling, so we can't go down that road again.
No, man, just blessed to be here, man. Like last night, I just took some time to just think about everything that's going on here, and just the preparation that takes, the prayer, just all the things, and just blessed to be connected, and I just appreciate the opportunity to come and do what I felt God has put me on this planet to do, is to preach and teach His word. So I'm just thankful for you, man, and just watching every kid and understanding that every kid that is here, every youth, every leader is better because they have you in their life.
Amen.
So I don't want you to ever forget that you are laying the foundation for these kids and the rest of their life. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for a man that did that for me. Like I wouldn't. He laid my foundation of faith. Of course, my Nana and was the foundation of bringing me to church. But if it wasn't for a good youth group, a good youth leader, and a man that helped lead my life, I wouldn't be here today. So it's awesome to watch you be that for other kids. So,
thank you. I appreciate
both
that,
of
Mike.
You too. I don't think you understand how much that means for him to have somebody. I try to tell him this all the time because he's my go-to, and it is hard, man. It really is, and it's awesome when you have somebody that you can lean on. That you could say, "Hey, I need help in this," and to get it done, it takes a weight off. It really does. So he couldn't do what he's doing for these kids if it wasn't for you. So understand, it's not Pastor Jared. He couldn't be Pastor Jared without the support of people around him.
Right.
So
That's
I'm
right.
glad he's got somebody. Last time we were here, he didn't have anybody like that. So watching that, just seeing you in the morning, helping cook breakfast and do stuff like that, it means the world. And you as well are laying seeds in these kids' life that they're going to be married, teaching their kids things that y'all poured into them when they were in youth.
Yeah.
You're affecting generations, man.
Ooh, let that sink in.
Awesome, yeah.
It's kind of scary, but
We are there. We're having youth that are now married, looking at having kids that we helped. They're 11, 12 years old. I got to marry Abby and her husband Jacob. Jacob was at our house at 8 years old.
wow.
So now we're getting to watch them be married. Look at having kids. Look at having it's crazy, man.
Well, I appreciate it, Michael. And when I say scary, I don't mean like scary way. It's sobering.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is heavy. It's not something lighter to take.
And we've got youth. His son. I had a son in youth. He has a baby now.
Yeah.
Wow.
And now he's going to be teaching his kids things that I taught him in
awesome.
youth. It's like, ooh, man.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate it, guys. Michael, Rich, thank you so much for coming on here. And we got a busy day ahead of us.
Yeah, man.
We do. It's going to be a good day.
We're going to be going to a coffee shop, and we're going to be there for an hour. I think that Sean might be coming and playing some music for us and getting to encourage and uplift some young adults, 18 to 30 years old. It's today, Saturday. Well, this is going to be recording. Never mind. I was going to put out a promo for it, but you guys are going to be hearing this 2 days after it's already happened. So hopefully you were there and you had a great time.
If you weren't, you're definitely late now.
Right, what are you doing with your life?
Late? Oh, we're kidding. He's talking about if you're definitely late. You didn't catch that, did you?
No, I didn't. Catch
Okay.
that part.
Well, guys like us catch those things.
That's right.
But yes, thank you, Bobby. Thank you so much. You're doing awesome this week. But that's it. Tonight will be the last night of D Now. Praying for people to really, really grow deep in their faith. But most important thing to me is if there's somebody who doesn't have a relationship with Jesus, that they get it taken care of tonight. Even right now. I mean, if somebody came in the door and said, "Hey, Pastor Mike, Jared, Bobby, hey, Rich, come over here. Can you pray with me? I really want to know what this is about salvation." I'd stop the show, or we'd be like, "Gotta go."
Yep.
But yes, thank you so much for watching the Vertical Podcast. As always, I'm Jared Morphew, and sitting across from me is a man who goes by the name of Ricky Bobby. I wanted to say that so many times. Bobby Cooper. Ricky Bobby. No, you don't have two first names. You're okay.
Yeah.
Does any of us have two first names? Rich Randall? No. Is Randall a first name?
My name is Richard Douglas Randall.
Okay, you're good then. You're good. You're good.
So he's really got three
Three
first
first
names.
names.
Yeah.
I'm a serial killer. It's okay.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You know,
John
I've
Wayne Gacy.
heard if you put capital letters while you're writing and mixed inside of your writings,
Yeah.
that you could be a serial killer. And I thought, well, that's me because I do that.
Yeah, I do too.
Do you? I do. Okay.
Y'all
Weird
are
way to
all
wrap up the
right.
show, but
Okay.
now you know who you're really listening to. Okay, well, thank you so much for watching. As always, let's be not here. I see. I messed
You
it
do
up,
it every
dude.
time.
I mess it up every time, but when I'm talking, it flows so good. So, as always, let's be doers of the word and not hearers only. Thank you for watching.
Thanks, guys. Later.
Later.